Hello and welcome to another segment of Open House here at Community Media, where we celebrate who we are and what we do as a community. We open our doors, we call people up and we say, hey, look, you guys are doing some awesome work. You're making this a better place to live here in Adams County. And we are so lucky to have Robin Fitzpatrick and Kaycee Kemper with us, who are part of the Adams Economic Alliance. And we're going to talk about the Alliance. And this is a unique situation here because the Alliance is a nonprofit. And, you know, our nonprofits here in our community, they do a great job of making Adams County a safe, vibrant, and thriving community. And usually what you see is the for-profits helping the nonprofits. But in your organization, you're a nonprofit that helps the for-profits thrive,
right.
And in return, they help the community.
Right.
So, Robin, can you talk to us a little bit about what the Adams Economic Alliance is?
I can, yes. So, Ray, our organization, Adams County Economic Development Corporation, started the way we exist now in 1989. But it really started back in the 60s. There was an organization called Gettysburg Industrial Development Corporation, and that formed specifically to help manufacturers at the time. The Commonwealth is always looking to see how they can help their businesses and ultimately get more taxes that are distributed to help our communities. And they noticed that a lot of manufacturing was starting to go outside of the country. And so they developed a program hoping to keep manufacturing strong. And that is with low interest lending. And so GIDC was started to get money to do lending. And then in 1989, there was a resurgence, I would say, of community members who wanted to strengthen that effort, and they started Adams County Economic Development Corporation.
And that grew into the Economic Alliance?
It did indeed. So now we have an Economic Development Corporation. That is the nonprofit. Kaycee will talk to you a little bit later about her role there. It's predominantly low-interest lending for businesses. But the reason we call ourselves the Alliance is because we're also staff to two other organizations. Each of them are municipal authorities. And that allows us to do other kinds of work that being an EDC alone wouldn't, such as bond issuance. We're able to take grants from the Commonwealth and the feds we're a pass-through to bring them to nonprofits and for-profit businesses. So it was just too much going on. 3 names, 2 people, and we changed it to Adams Economic Alliance.
And Rob, what is your position with the Economic Alliance?
Well, currently I am president. I've had maybe 3 positions there at the organization. So I've been there 20 plus years.
Okay, great. Kaycee, can you tell us about yourself and your position?
Sure. So my name is Kaycee Kemper. I'm the vice president at the Adams Economic Alliance. I primarily head up the finance department. It's a department of 2 people. So it's a small department, but we are mighty. We get a lot of work done, and we help to increase the tax base in the county for our communities, as well as creating and retaining jobs.
So you spend a lot of your time working with businesses that getting loans.
Right, right. So the Adams Economic Alliance is the certified economic development organization for Adams County. So what that means is we are certified by the state of Pennsylvania to do financing with their programs in Adams County. So any business that wants to take advantage of those programs comes through our organization to do so.
So you're not the bank.
No, we're not the bank. We're not the bank, and we're not here to compete with the bank. So actually our programs work hand in hand. You have to have a bank on board. So our lending we can fund usually about 40 to 50% of projects, and then you have to have a bank on board. So we spend a lot of time developing relationships with the lenders in the area.
And also the state and the federal government, because they also have programs that are lent.
They have the money.
They have the money.
They have the money. So we are contracted with them to administer funds in Adams County. And so there's state programs that do that. And then we also partner with EDC Finance Corporation in Lancaster County for federal financing, which is the SBA, the Small Business Administration 504 program. So we have a couple different pots of money that we can assist the businesses with in the county.
So you definitely help our community thrive. So if I am a young person or any business entrepreneur who wants to start a business, you would work with that individual?
Yeah, so we can help young entrepreneurs who are looking to just get into business. We partner with many, many different organizations. Shippensburg University Small Business Development Center is one. They can assist businesses with, oh my goodness, business plan writing, projecting income and expenses, market research. They offer a ton of different services. Many of which are free of cost. They're paid for by our tax dollars. So whenever we have someone who comes to us and says, I have this great idea, but they quite haven't put the pen to the paper yet, we refer them up to Shippensburg SBDC, and they get all the help that they need up there to get started. And then they can come back to us and look for financing.
What an awesome opportunity. This is awesome. I know there's a lot of people out there who's sitting there and saying, hey, I could be a millionaire. I have the right idea, but how do I get there? And your organization, Kaycee, you're like a paint by numbers for getting to $1 million. You know?
Settle down, Ray. Yeah, I mean, we've helped businesses in all let's say phases of business, whether it's startup or maybe they're a young company that's looking to, grow. We've worked with technology companies, manufacturers, agriculture. Agriculture is a huge part of the lending that we do. So yeah, we can, if we can't help you, we have a partner who can.
That is a great opportunity. And so you have someone who has a great idea and they don't have any experience. Why wouldn't you take advantage of this opportunity with Kaycee at the Adams Economic Alliance? And you could be a business person for many, many years and still benefit from your organization.
Absolutely, yeah. We work with a lot of seasoned companies who, may be looking to expand and grow. Obviously, our existing business base is very important to us. That makes our communities go around. Small business is the backbone, and we need you. So we're here to help, whether you're new, a little older in business, more seasoned. Yeah, we've got a place for everybody.
So can you share some success stories that your organization has had in lending and directing individuals to success?
Sure. One that just comes to the top of my head is one that we've worked with for many years, and we've ushered them and watched them grow and helped them grow. It's a biotechnology company, actually right here in New Oxford. Sartorius Stadium. They used to be known as All Pure Technologies. They're right out in the Cross Keys Business Park. Dr. Michael Zumbrum came to us as a resident of Maryland, and his business was in Maryland, and he said, I want to bring my business to Pennsylvania. And so we helped him find land. We helped him get the financing for it. That business has grown exponentially over 10 years, I would say. They employ over 125 people with great paying jobs. And it's a business that has grown just so quickly that they've actually sold to a major UK conglomerate now. So it's a huge success story for us, and Dr. Zumbrum continues to be a big cheerleader for us.
So I'm assuming at this point you don't have to buy anything because you've helped so many people make money that when they see you come in, hey, here's a free cup of coffee, you know, here's an apple
They're usually
pie.
looking for the check. They want to know where the check is.
Boy, you must feel so full of joy because there's so many people in this area that you have seen be able to take their dream and you walk them through to reality.
Ray, I'm going to butt in there.
Feel free.
We do feel joy. I mean, an immense amount of it. There's not a day, well, maybe some days, but there's not a day that really goes by that we don't feel so lucky and blessed to have these jobs. I mean, who gets to spend a day looking at sites for somebody else, looking for the right placement for someone's business, meeting businesses. I don't know anyone else who knows about plastic extrusion and laser metal cutting and applesauce making. Like, if we were in a trivia game, pick us. But we learn so much. We have so much opportunity, and to see people have their dreams come true, there's nothing better.
Isn't it? So this costs a lot of money for someone to come to you and do this, does it not?
We don't think so. I mean, we do. There are fees for our services.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there are fees for our services. You know, but it's not exorbitant. You know, it's based on the project. But yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. You know, the benefit to our lending is that it is low interest and it is fixed. So, you know, people would say, well, why would I want to get some of it from the bank and some of it from you guys? Then I've got 2 payments every month and, you know, got to deal with 2 lenders. And, you know, the true benefit is that our rates are low and they are fixed for the term of the loan. So currently our rates are between 3 3/4 and 4 3/4 right now. And we can fix our rates for up to 15 years, I'm sorry. We can fix them up to 15 years. So that's really the benefit. And for when you're talking a couple $100,000 or millions of dollars, that savings is significant and it can make the difference.
Where else can you get an opportunity like that?
Nowhere.
Now,
I don't know.
your advice that you give people when they sit down and they talk to you, is there a fee for that?
No. Somebody comes in and just needs to, like a consultation, this is what I'm looking to do. There's no fee for anything like that. If we're going to, you know, administer a loan for you, that's when you start incurring costs. But nope, there's a lot of work that we do for free.
So the person...
Oh, go ahead, I'm
No,
sorry.
you have much more and better to say than I, Robin.
I don't know about that, but it would be remiss of us to not mention, though, that we are grateful and couldn't do it without the support of the county. I mean, we say that it's free to the customer, but that money has to come from somewhere to keep the lights on and to pay the bills and to pay the staff, and we couldn't do it without their support.
And that is the county and the county commissioners.
That's correct.
That's right.
Yep.
And that is important about your organization, is that you are a nonprofit, but you're really deeply rooted with the county government and businesses.
Yes.
Yes. So, do you find people coming back for advice and advice and advice? So, at no cost?
I'm not sure Kaycee would tell you this, but she helped a customer buy a business. I believe he was working there, and there were changes in the ownership, and he said, I'd like to buy it. So she helped him buy the business. And I think since that time, he's come back 5 or 6 separate times. Now, does he not only own the business on a road, he owns like 5 parcels after it. I mean, his business has grown so much, and it's because he runs it well, but he's always involved Kaycee in our organization.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
What a great opportunity. And, you know, it's a great service. It costs nothing to get advice. It costs nothing to get direction. And the loans that you help them find are the best that is out there.
As far as we know.
Because if there was something better, you would have
We would
it.
offer
Yeah,
it.
right. That's right.
Well, this is great. There's so much more to talk about. And Robin, you have a different aspect that you work with the Alliance, a more community-based, where you get to have the thrill of looking at the needs of the community and coming up with some solutions. Can you share that, how that process works?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Kaycee has explained her role as predominantly working with financing customers. And although she goes out and meets with businesses, and that's the way she develops a pipeline of potential customers, all of her time is spent in doing that. And so what do? I do all the things surrounding that. I spend a lot of time in the community working on projects and seeing how our money has made an impact on individuals. So the Commonwealth is interested in how many jobs did you retain? How many jobs did you create? Are they living wage jobs? And you know, did it increase your tax base? Because we know taxes are important, and they pay for schools and the municipality, your roads, and they pay for services at the county. So all of those things fit with her part of the business. I have spent a lot of years in Rotary, working with community programs. Recently, we were delighted to be invited to participate in the At Home in Adams County initiative. And that started as a group of community people, and they engaged in a community needs assessment that was paid for by the Adams County Community Foundation. And it resulted in findings saying that our community needs living wage jobs, transportation, and housing that is affordable to a wide variety of people. You've seen how our housing is currently, and it's not just Adams County, it's everywhere. But oftentimes you don't even know a house is for sale until you see the for sale sign that's up. And so that has become a critical issue, because all of the people that are from Adams or that live here, many of them help our tourist industry or our ag industry. And their finances can't compete with those of people moving in here from, let's say, the DC, Northern Virginia metro area, and those folks are coming to retire. Well, we're off balance a little bit, and we've got to do something to make it easier for the people who make our communities vibrant, give them a living wage and a place to live. So we thought as a group that that fit in well with our mission, whereas Kaycee's doing the real countable tax benefits, job creation, funding things. I spend some of my time doing the softer part of it, pardon me, but like the real humane part of it. You see the people, you see they don't have transportation, you see they need living wages, and we're very pleased to be part of that group.
That is amazing. It's Robin, when you look at Adams County, I think that you could tell the heart of a community by looking at the nonprofits. Mm-hmm. And when you have nonprofits that have compassion and are thriving and involved in the community, you have a community that takes care of each other. And it seems like your organization is involved in the whole gamut. You know, how do you create the jobs, help the people create the jobs so that there can be a living wage, and that person then can afford what every family has a dream, you know, to take care of their kids, to have a home, to have a vacation, for them to go to college. And you're involved in all of that. And when we talk about that, a safe, vibrant, thriving community, the Adams County Community Foundation's name all but always comes up.
Always.
You know?
Yep.
And SCAP, South Central Community Action, their name always comes up. And the Adams County, the Adams Economic Corporation or Alliance, the Adams Economic Alliance names always comes up. And when you look at how you do this, it's phenomenal. These organizations that I mentioned intentionally came together to find out what the needs of everybody in the community is, and intentionally put your efforts towards coming up with a solution. And this is what you do every day. This is what you do every day.
Well, we try. And remember how we started off. I was explaining about how the Commonwealth looks for the weak parts in industries or in the economy, and they try to bolster it a bit. Our organizations change over time. You know, we started to help manufacturing specifically. And then as time went on, we decided that financing was great. We're getting a foothold in doing that. What's next? And then there was the business park at the intersections of 15 and 30. We bought the land and did the development there, sold off lots. And I believe not they, but $1 million or more of taxes is the result of that development. And now you'll hear people talking about workforce. I can't find anybody to work. So we're responding to that. Should there be training programs? How can we get people? So really, we're not in step, but if there's an issue, we learn about it and try to figure out how it can be solved.
So this was the business park on 15 and 30?
Yes.
Okay. You know, as you're speaking, you know, there's these computer generating games when you create your own communities and buildings.
Yep.
You almost do this in reality. You know, you look at a need and boom, we're going to put this program together very intentionally. And then you look down and say, okay, now that's satisfied. Now we need to have people who are very capable and have skills stay here instead of go someplace else.
Right.
Now you put something like that together. So with that being said, you mentioned some success stories. That intersection was one. Do you have any other success stories that you could share?
Sure, but let me say you're very kind, suggesting that it's like that type of game. It's really more like Dungeons and Dragons. Like, we totally get stopped sometimes.
Right. And it's not like, boom, it happens.
There's not a second life. You're done.
No.
And it's, it's
You're not
a long
flying
game.
around.
No. And, we're talking about all of our successes, and, there are failures as well. Not because we didn't try hard enough, but because our job is really incumbent upon the municipalities and whether or not they want growth, how much growth, no growth, do you want residential growth or industrial? And depending upon how they've created their community to be, has almost all to do with our success or not. We don't work against any municipality's plan. We try to just be helpful in them realizing what they'd like. So let's see, in that regard, well, so the jury's still out on is this a success or a failure, but you learn from both. We're working very closely with the Borough of Gettysburg, and there is an open lot next to the borough parking lot, and the project is referred to as Gettysburg Station. And a developer purchased the land and is starting to go through all of the land use, planning the development and getting permits. And as it should be, the public has a lot to say about it. And so we will see how that all pans out.
And you could appreciate people's opinions on this. I mean,
Sure,
you
of
know,
course.
There's fear.
Yeah.
I'm going to be losing something that I love. Is not going to be the same. Mm-hmm. So there's an element of fear, and then there's an element of, wow, this is going to create opportunities where I have other places to go to eat.
Yep.
I have different experiences I could have that I couldn't have. Different opportunities of living, mm-hmm. Being able to live somewhere where there's a gym and things like this. And
where you can walk everywhere.
yeah, and other communities have gone through this,
The most challenging part is when you feel both.
Yeah, and
you're torn,
Yeah. Yeah, I love this area, the way it is, However, I don't like people who are abused, do not have opportunities, are going through pain, those type of things that a lot of nonprofits are here to help with. Mm-hmm. That if it wouldn't be for those nonprofits, those elements of a person's life, who would be there to help? So yeah, you get to try to work through both scenarios, trying to present a possible reality, because you don't, when things happen, you have an idea that this is how it can go.
Right.
It can go.
But once you sell the land, it's somebody else's dream.
Yeah, great. Hey, we've all but ran out of time. This is so awesome. I learned a lot more and appreciate your organization a lot more than before we had this conversation. So what a great opportunity you guys have to make an impact. And you have both of you have been working for the Alliance for
20 plus years.
20 plus years. Cool.
We should end it, just
Just
not
there.
say
Right there,
that.
20
end.
plus
Just
years.
there.
Yeah.
Just there.
So volunteers, you're looking for volunteers?
Yeah, we're always looking for board members, committee members, anybody who has an interest in economic development, making a change. Yeah, we're always looking for those folks to help us, see a different perspective. So if you're interested, you're welcome to touch base with us. Our website is adamsalliance.org, and you can find a lot of information about us there. So yeah, we're always looking for an opportunity to meet somebody new.
You know, the crazy thing about this is that if you want to volunteer for this organization, you have the governments who will help establish policy, and then you have the Economic Alliance that then looks at what it takes to make it a reality.
That is
That's exactly right.
So, as someone who would like to make a difference in the community, you could be on this board and actually really be making a difference, and possibly not dealing with all the politics either, right? And then you are funded a lot through the county.
Like I said before, we couldn't do it without the county's support. They provide us with an annual gift just to keep things going. And then there are times when they have a project and they're not really allowed to do development. And so they will turn it over to us and say, here's a piece of property, we'd like you to buy it. Their end goal might be this. And so we do our best to achieve that, and then it's for sale, and we hope a business will buy it and then do their thing.
And then some of that money is used then to help the Alliance grow.
Yeah.
And the Alliance, you help nonprofits, not only profits, but nonprofits.
Yep.
And some of that money is funding through that exchange of
Yep.
property.
Yes.
So you also look for donations, but they're not called donations.
No, they're not. You go ahead.
We operate a membership of sorts that we like to call an investment. It's an investment in Adams County. It's an investment in economic development and the future of Adams County. So we like to think of our members as investors. Again, on our website, we have all that information if you're interested in joining. We have usually about 60 members, 60 investors every year, and we're grateful for their support. We're always looking for new ones. So if you're interested in supporting our organization, we'd be happy to have a conversation with you about that.
Awesome. And Kaycee, this is one last opportunity for you to say something to everybody before we say goodbye.
I just thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. We are excited, and we're always trying to get our information out there. It's a story that you have to tell over and over, and we think we have a pretty cool story. We're lucky to be a part of it, so we just appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Robin?
Well, I agree 100% with Kaycee, and in addition, I would like to thank you and community media of South Central PA. You do so much for our community. It goes beyond things that I can describe right now. I've known you a long time, and I respect you and the work you do. And Mark behind the camera, everybody on the board, we appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for watching this segment of Open House, and I hope you understand that the Adams Economic Alliance is probably one of our best kept secrets. And what they have that they can offer you as a resident, if it is that you want to get into business, if it is that your nonprofit needs some help, or possibly you have a vision for how the community can grow, they're there, and they have made a difference. They are the ones who can make the difference. So please support them, and we're looking forward to our next opportunity to get your message out. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, and until we have a chance to spend some time again, please stay healthy and remember that you are the best.